Hello guys, so I'm going to teach you how to save on sales tax when you're buying car in New York State. So as you can see that in New York State you could potentially pay a total of 8.75% sales tax for a vehicle in the state, while meanwhile in other states such as North Carolina their tax rate for regular passenger vehicle is 3% highway use tax. Yeah, that's the only tax. You don't have to pay any other tax when you're buying a car. So North Carolina collects a higher use tax on vehicles instead of state sales tax. So this is the only tax you pay when you're buying the car. So very recently I placed a purchase order on a dealership in New York State. As you can see, it's a Honda dealership, and I had to opt out some stuff for legal purposes. So as you can see, the date, it is very recent, and my address is in North Carolina along with the zip code. So the car I placed the purchase order for is 2023 Honda Civic EX. So the car is still in transit, and it is coming in very soon. So as you can see that I got the car for on MSRP is 26,450, and yes, the car prices have been coming down now. Car supplies has been stabilizing, and the demand is not as much as in other states in New York, because in New York mostly you can travel with a transit system. We have buses, we have trains, like a 24-hour subway system, and other states are not so convenient. So car prices here, you have a ground to negotiate the price down to MSRP, since the supply is still coming down at this moment. So the car price is, in total with the destination and everything, the unit price is 27,545, and this is the taxable amount. So here you go, boom, the sales tax, because of North Carolina 3% tax, the sales tax is $826.35. That's the tax. And if you're doing it for in another state, you will have to pay a third party fee of $300, more or less. It depends on which dealership went to, but you have to pay this fee because they're going to process your plates and DMV through a third party service to get you your plates and get your car title and registration from the other state. In this case, it's North Carolina. And obviously you have to pay the DMV fees and tire rotation fees and everything. So as you can see, the total cash price came down to $28,858 for the car. Now the difference between New York and North Carolina. Again, this is for 2023 Honda Civic EX, the insurance. So getting to it, as you can see, this is $5,874.8 for 6 months premium. Yeah, there's the thing. When you call them, you can probably negotiate it down or something. And again, this is just an estimate I'm getting from Geico. I just want to show you the difference between the insurances in these two states. Okay, so let's get to it. If we calculate it down, let's run it by the calculator. 5874.8 divided by 6. This is like hefty 900, and rounding it up, let's say $980 a month just for the insurance. And if you're financing the car, obviously you'll have to take this. There is no way around. If you'll have to take full coverage. Let me show you some, if we can reduce the insurance by a little bit. Okay, let's go over there. You cannot change any of these. Yeah, you can decline all of these. These are not like required in New York State for the coverage. But when you go down, you can make your deductible higher to lower your insurance rate. And let's see, we're gonna do that, even though thinking that this is like it's New York State, we're updating the risk and everything. But let's update the quote first and see what we get. And getting to there, okay, so just yeah, the insurance reduced. Let's see how much it is. Let's run it by the calculator. 5163.5 divided by 6 months, which is still $860. $860 for monthly rate. That does not sound cheap, does it, guys? It does not at all. Now let's get to North Carolina license. Same information. I ran the same information. Everything same. Just the North Carolina registration, North Carolina address, and everything. Look at this, guys. It's 631.97. Let's say $632, rounding it up. How much it come to for 6 months? $632 divided by 6 is $105 a month. So now here is what to do. You need to get a driver's license in North Carolina. So here are the requirements that you need to fill if you want to get a driver's license in North Carolina. So you need an out-of-state license, which you already have. If you're in New York, you drive a car, and then you need your social security card and one document that verifies the physical address in North Carolina. So if you have a relative or anyone, or if you have your own physical addresses in North Carolina, it is not a very, any kind of a very complicated feat to get an physical address in North Carolina. So the document you can state for the proof is like bank statement or your credit card statement, and you need U.S. citizenship certificate or something that proves that you are legal in USA if you're not born here. So, and another document that you need to provide is that a document proving liability insurance coverage, even if you don't have a car. So, this is what happened when I went to the DMV in North Carolina. This is where I got stuck. They were like, you don't have a liability insurance coverage, because I was a first time car buyer. I still haven't had a car yet. And they asked me that if I have a liability insurance under my name. Yes, I get it. In New York, you don't need a liability insurance or any kind of insurance if you don't own a car, and you can still drive a rental car without it. It's really simple. But in North Carolina, you need a liability insurance coverage from a provider. So now that you are ready to go to buy the car, you have your driver's license on hand from North Carolina. When you get to the dealership, keep that in mind, that you have to be very, very clear, thoroughly clear about the fact that you are registering the car to North Carolina. You have the North Carolina driver's license. In no way, in any way, you are liable to pay New York state tax. The tax you'll be paying is North Carolina state tax for your car. Just be very clear about it to your dealership. The reason why I'm saying this is that we almost got scammed at a Toyota dealership in New York. So this is what happened. I walked in and they had a 2023 Camry to sell. We liked it and we were placing the purchase order. So what happened is I gave them my driver's license, and as you can see on the purchase order, the city is Raleigh, state is North Carolina, zip is Raleigh, and the county is Wake County in North Carolina. You see state North Carolina again. But what do you see in the purchase order? The sales tax is 8.625. There is no way that the sales tax for the car in North Carolina 8.625%. So when I told them, the salesman basically told me that this is just for the reference. We are not going to charge you the sales tax for New York. You'll have to pay just the sales tax for North Carolina and everything. When we get to the finance office, they're basically going to change this price and everything. But remember, you are signing a purchase order. This is what is called out of the door price. This is not, they're not liable to change this price once you close it down and everything. They can scam you just based on that. So this is what happened. I signed it, and next day the finance manager called me that you have to pay the New York state tax. You signed the purchase order and everything. You cannot pay North Carolina state tax. If you want to change the car later on, you can go to North Carolina and change the car registration and title. And I don't know what kind of scam they're trying to pull. Since my driver's license in North Carolina, I have no idea how they were about to do that. So the thing that is going on is that when you finance the amount, this is the total amount that goes into your financing amount, and they charge you interest on that amount. So if I was doing North Carolina tax, they would have had to reduce like almost $1,500, a lot more than that. So the total amount would have been like 29,800 maybe, or 700. So they could not charge the interest on that. So even if I got a, let's guess that I got a refund from DMV on that amount and everything, they still would be able to make some money out of that price. So beware of this kind of scam. Be very clear about the fact that you're registering the car to North Carolina, and when you're signing the purchase order, if you see that they're charging you sales tax from any state other than North Carolina, just call an FTC investigation on them. Just tell them that I'm going to call an FTC investigation on you. You are trying to scam me. That's all. So at the end of the day, by buying a car from New York State but registering it to North Carolina, you save a lot of money in taxes. But you may have some questions. Why not buy a car directly from North Carolina? Okay, so in North Carolina, dealerships act like kings of the streets, because in North Carolina, you are in bind to get a car. You cannot get anywhere without a car in North Carolina unless you're crazy rich and you Uber every time. Because in North Carolina, the public transit system is not as efficient as in California or New York. So people tend to use cars every time. So dealerships are not in a bind to sell you the car. You're in a bind to get a car from them just to get around. And second question might be, what if I register the car in New York City and then transfer it to NC? No, that's a really bad idea. If you are, and at the end of the day, you're registering the car in North Carolina, then when you register the car in NYC, first you have to pay NYC tax, and then when you transfer it to NC in 60 days, you will have to pay additional $250 in taxes. But if you do that transfer after 60 days, then you'll have to pay 3% again on your car price. So that's not a good idea. Very bad idea. You should not do that. So third question is, can dealers charge me additional fees for registering the car in NC? No. The third party fee is at max is $300. It is not more than that. If the dealer is trying to charge you more than that, then they are probably trying to scam you, and that fee may go down by $250 or $200. It depends on what kind of third party they are using, but it is not more than $300, or no any other additional fees or penalties if you're registering the car in North Carolina. So the fourth question would be like, do I get a lower or higher APR on finance if the car is registered in another state? No, your car registration in another state or whatever it does not affect your finance. The way it passively affects is, if you are registering your car, just like the dealership that tried to scam me, if you register the car in NYC, then you'll see that the tax price is high. It goes into your finance amount, and yeah, definitely you will have to pay more interest because of that couple thousand of dollars more. So at the end of the day, keep those in mind and do not get scammed when you go to a dealership. And I hope that you can get a good deal on a car with low taxes and everything. And if please like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment down below. I will be happy to answer your questions. And if you want me to make a video in the future that about more cars tips and more tax tips, comment down below. I'll be happy to. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.